So I'm going to make this quick. Usually I shave over the area that I'm going to tattoo, but this is obviously a woman's hand. Well, you never know these days, but this, yes, is a woman's hand. So I did not shave the area, but I did thoroughly clean the area. You want to make sure that you thoroughly clean the area and that it's on top of plastic. Everything should be sterile. Everything should be brand new wherever you're working. You want to make sure everything's as clean as possible. And then when you put your stencil on, your stencil stuff, what you want to do is you want to put it on thin, put it on evenly. If you put it on too thick, then your stencil will run and it's going to be a pain in the ass to work over that area. Then once you have your stencil ready, I'll make another video on how to make a stencil. You want to take your time, line it up, and then firmly press down evenly on the skin. Once it's all pressed down evenly, I usually wait about 10 to 15 seconds. And then I'll pull it off and check it out. Voila, you have a perfect stencil. And then you want to check it out from all angles. Very important that it's exactly where you want it. And then you ask your client. I ask my client, hey, how's it feel? Do you like it right there? And make sure we both agree on the area. Right now is the time. Because if you wait till after the tattoo is finished, that's going to be a problem. And nobody wants that. So take the time to make sure it's exactly where you both want it right now. And then usually I wait between 10 to 15 minutes to get started. But since this is a small one, we waited 4 minutes to let it dry. And then I use a flux rotary. And I usually line at 11 volts. But in this case, when it's a thin area of skin on the hands or feet, most of the time I'll drop it down to 9 volts or 8.5 volts. And this is a 7-round liner. What I'll do is I'll do 2 passes. But first, check it out. First, I do a little line. Notice how it's at a slight angle, the needle. And then I check it out and see how that line looks. So then I can make any adjustments on the angle of my hand, the needle, the voltage, etc., etc. And then we continue from there. And why I lower the voltage is so I can do a couple passes so we can saturate it well. You want to make sure it's very well saturated. If you go too deep on the hands or anywhere on the body, the ink will bleed and it'll look like shit. And it's going to be a pain in the ass and it's going to be ugly. So you want to take your time. You want to make sure it's perfectly nice and fine. And notice how I'm taking my time, steadily doing it. I'm sorry that it's blurry. I know that's a pain in the ass. I apologize, my beautiful people. Next video will not be like that. I know that's annoying. It's going to focus right now. Don't worry. But check it out. Once we do the first pass, we clean it. And then what I'll do is I'll go back in and I'll start saturating a little bit more. So what we're doing is we're only going in 1.5 to 2 millimeters into the dermis. You don't want to go too deep, but also if you don't go deep enough, then it's just going to fall out and then you're going to need to do a touch-up. And that's another point I need to stress on you guys. Whenever you're doing hands or finger tattoos or any of those type of areas, always be clear with your client and let them know, hey, a lot of the times, not every time, but a lot of times you might need a touch-up. It's more of the times that people do need touch-ups when they're on the fingers than not. So you just want to be clear. But check it out. Notice how I'm taking my time. I've been doing this for years and I still take my time. I want it to be perfect. I want it to all be even. And then have a great time. Enjoy it. Talk to your client. Get to know them. Ask them questions. But concentrate and have a great time. But, get to know your client. You guys are creating something together that they're going to have on themselves for the rest of their life, on their body forever, But check it out. Notice how I'm going back and forth. To most people, that would look finished. But notice I'm a perfectionist. Do not drive yourself crazy doing that. But just make sure it's as best as possible because you want it to look great. You want your client to be happy. You want to be happy. That's your reputation. That's your name on that piece of art. So put your heart into it and do it as great as possible. It's better to take your time and have it solid and amazing than to rush through it and have a problem and give them garbage because it's going to cause you issues later on. Notice how I check it out. It looks great. I check it out real close. I always take my time. I'd rather take too much time than just rush through it. Clean it up because we're done. Bam. What was that? Just a couple minutes. Good to go. She's happy. I'm happy. Everybody's happy. This is Stacy. I've tattooed her quite a few times. Most of my clients always come back to me because I create a great experience. I give them great quality. Make sure you do that, please. Be creative. Be fun. Be clean. Very important. And if you guys have any questions, put it in the comments. Let me know if you like this. I'll do some more in-depth ones with shading, stencils, and anything else you guys would like to see. Let me know. Good luck on your journey, whether you're starting or you've been doing this. Make sure you're growing daily. Look at that. Look at that. Come on. Let's go, people. Let's go.